The scope of this video is limited to how to handle a call from a collector you have no intention of paying. There are conditions where paying the debt makes more sense, but every consumer situation is different. This video is not a one-size-fits-all approach to handling collector calls. To reiterate, this video is for collector calls you have no intention of paying. This video was made in response to YouTube user Ebony's comment to a request made on one of my other videos. With that in mind, here are a few scenarios dealing with phone calls from collectors.
Hello?
Hello, my name is James Smith, calling on a recorded line, and I'm trying to reach Michael Davis. Is this Michael?
Yeah?
Great. Hey, Mike, I'm calling with such and such account services, and I'm reviewing your account information and see that you're still on 123 Main Street in Random Town, USA. Is this correct, Mike?
Yeah? Wait, who are you now?
Mike, I'm here to help you out today because last year, Blah Blah Lender reported an unpaid account. Just last month, Blah Blah Lender reached out to us here at such and such account services to help get the account paid. This unpaid account has likely affected your credit status and will follow you for years. But great news is, I'm here to take care of this for you. Now I see you originally owed $1,000 to Blah Blah Lender on a credit card account. Does that sound about right to you, Mike?
Oh, I think so, but I'm on my lunch break, so...
Hey, Mike, no worries. Listen, I want to help you. Here's what's happened so far and what I can do to make it better for you. Last month, your account information came to me. Here at such and such account services, we specialize in taking care of past due accounts. Now the balance has some acquisition costs added to it, which brings the total amount to $1,500. But like I said, I'm here to help. I want to extend a reduced offer to you today for just $800. That's a $200 savings off the original amount, Mike.
Oh, wow. Listen, I need to think this over first. Can I call you back?
Of course, Mike. But bad news is, I can't let this account linger. I need a payment from you over the phone to show you're serious about the reduced offer and are willing to work with us to get this matter settled. At least with that, I can buy you a little time. However, without a payment, the $1,500 amount kicks in again. How about we set up a one-time small payment of $50 right now to lock in the $800 balance? Then you can call back to discuss a payment plan to cover the remaining $750. That way, the offer still stands, and you'll be on your way to being done with this past due account for good. All I need is your debit card or credit card number, and you're all set, Mike.
Okay, I can manage $50 for now. My card number is 5466.
This is an oversimplification of the collection process debt collectors use to get paid for collection accounts. There are several important things that happened in this interaction. Mike confirmed his information over the phone. More importantly, he acknowledged he owed the original lender $1,000 and just validated the debt. In most states, the debt collector can now pursue Mike legally if they wanted to. Also, notice how subtle and slick the phone agent was in disclosing the call was being recorded.
Hello, my name is James Smith, calling on a recorded line, and I'm trying to reach Michael Davis.
But the nail in the coffin was the $50 payment Mike actually made. Despite having no formal agreement, by making a payment, Mike has secured the collector's ability to go after him for the unpaid debt because there is now a payment that can be traced back to Mike. This revives the old dormant debt, commonly called zombie debt. Certain actions like acknowledging Mike owes the debt, making a payment, accepting an offer, or agreeing to pay allows debt collectors to pursue legal recourse because these actions reset the statute of limitations for the debt. To clarify, the 7-year clock on Mike's credit report will not be affected. Once 7 years has passed from the time the original debt is transferred to a debt collector, then the collection account will be removed from Mike's credit report. However, the statute of limitations on the collector's ability to legally pursue payment is reset to 0 if any of the actions mentioned earlier occur. It's important to distinguish how the 7-year effect on Mike's credit report operates independently of the debt collector's statute of limitations. In other words, Mike's credit history has its own separate timeline from the collector's timeline to pursue payment actions. What makes it more confusing is that every state has its own timeline for a collector's ability to demand payment. It gets even more confusing that most installment accounts, like loans, have their own statute of limitations that often extend beyond that of most revolving accounts, like credit cards. Given all these variables in timelines between consumers' credit reports and debt collectors' statute of limitations by state, and the type of credit account they're pursuing payment on by state, it's easy to see why there's so much confusion and frustration over what to do when a collector calls for payment. There's an overwhelming matrix of factors that must be analyzed to determine whether it makes sense to comply with payment. It's common for a debt collector to call for payment on zombie debt that has fallen off a consumer's credit report because the zombie debt may still be within the statute of limitations. Consumers may unknowingly revive zombie debt by taking any of the actions mentioned earlier. It's theoretically possible for a collection account to live on indefinitely if the collector is able to repeatedly get the borrower to revive the debt within the statute of limitations, even after the borrower is deceased. Don't get me started on debts owed for deceased borrowers that live in what are called community property states. This scary scenario means the living spouses of deceased borrowers with collection accounts may be liable for payment. In that first scenario, Mike wasn't expecting a call from a collector. He wasn't expecting to pay anything either, but the slick, salesman-like approach of the phone agent got Mike to comply. It almost sounded like the phone agent really was helping Mike. You'll often hear credit experts say, "Never pay collections," or "Don't say anything," when a collector calls for payment. There's a lot of truth in that, so what should be said in this case? Let's replay the same situation, except Mike will know what to say.
Hello?
Hello, my name is James Smith, calling on a recorded line, and I'm trying to reach Michael Davis. Is this Michael?
Who are you?
My name is James Smith, and
Hold up. Unless you're LL Cool J, James Smith doesn't mean anything to me. Why are you calling this number, James?
well, Mr. Davis, I'm calling because...
James, please don't call me Mr. Davis. Why are you calling, and how did you get this number?
Well, I have a matter to discuss with Mr. Davis. Are you able to help with this matter?
I don't know you or this matter you're referring. Sorry, I can't help you. Now, James, I'm notifying you that I am now recording this call and am requesting that you please remove this phone number from your contact database and don't ever call it again regarding this Mr. Davis matter. Is that understood?
Yes.
Good. Now, James, tell me your address so I can also send my written request to remove this number from your contact database.
Sure, it's 456 Main Street.
Here is another way the call could go.
Hello?
Hello, my name is James Smith, calling on a recorded line, and I'm trying...
Hold up. James, stop. I do not want to be recorded. I refuse to talk with anyone on the recorded line. I'm hanging up now.
If the rep calls back and Mike wishes to talk to them, Mike can always advise the rep that he still does not want to be recorded and will not confirm or deny any information over the phone. Mike can always advise the rep to forward any written correspondence to the address on file for the collection account, which any reputable collector will have. If the rep is persistent in at least validating a name or any other information over the phone, Mike can reiterate he does not feel comfortable giving any information over the phone to someone he doesn't know. Let's see how Mike does in this final scenario.
I don't know this number. I ain't answering it.
It's a good idea to remove the name from the voicemail intro with this last scenario. However, check the message to see what actions the collector is pursuing, in case the correspondence the collector mails out isn't getting to you. Collectors are required to send information in the mail. Answering calls from collectors is like getting interrogated by the police. Be careful what you say. Know your rights and never give information for free. Many collectors are on point and can demonstrate they're following proper chain of title when consumers or credit repair specialists demand validation of the collector's information. Debt collectors can monitor consumers' credit reports continuously, so they see when consumers with a delinquent account are settling their debts with other lenders or taking on new debt. Don't give them extra information over the phone to use against you. To reiterate, the scope of this video is limited to how to handle calls on collection accounts that won't be paid. Otherwise, this video can drag on like some other Screaming Lincoln's videos discussing related topics like validation of the debt, validation of the collection agency's corporation, what steps to take once the collection appears in a credit history, and so on. I've already discussed the varied timelines between a borrower's credit history and a debt collector's statute of limitations at great length, which hopefully clears some confusion. If you're trying to clean up your credit report to increase your score, then different actions may be taken which are beyond the scope of this video. Weigh your options carefully or discuss the matter with an experienced credit specialist. If you have any questions on anything, don't be a lurker. Hit me up in the comments anytime. What are you waiting for? And thanks again to YouTube user Ebony for reaching out. You're the reason I made this video. Hit it, Steve.
Wow.